Our world just flipped upside down that fast. Never expected a tumor or any of that. Luke is our oldest son. He likes to play outside. He likes anything boy, trucks, tractors, balls. He's really into sword fighting and reptiles right now. And he is super sweet. He's the sweetest little boy. Last year on Mother's Day, he was just screaming in pain all night, and I was like, this is not usual. He was just saying my belly. So we went to the ER.
I remember when we first talked about his case, it was I don't know how we could possibly do an operation that would effectively remove his tumor. We kept surgery on the table as an option to see, but none of us really felt like that was the best option. And it's only after, his really dedicated team of oncologists at Shawn Jenkins that kept pushing the envelope in terms of systemic therapies. And when we sort of reached a point where we felt like the tumor was as small as it was going to be, and we then decided to put together a multidisciplinary team, and together we mapped out a plan to try to remove Luke's tumor.
I was a little nervous, being that Dr. Roggin is an adult primary, how that, but he has been excellent. He's been top tier. He was just so great with Luke, and we're very grateful.
Most of our experience in this specific operation is in the adult population, and in my career over 20-something years, the range that I had operated on was 14 to 91. So Luke represents the youngest case that I've done. It's an operation that is one of the most complex operations we do in abdominal surgical oncology. I always describe it to patients as it's kind of the boardwalk and park place of the body, where it's really high-priced real estate and there's a lot of structures that we need to preserve. And in Luke's case, because he had had a long-standing tumor and blockage of the venous drainage back to his liver, in order to take out his tumor, we had to separate all those connections that his body, made to return blood because it was blocked.
When Dr. Roggin and Dr. Sina came and told us, hey, it's done, the tumor peeled away and we didn't have to touch the vein, I was just astonished. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Instead of worrying about the playground and all these other things, Luke was, in and out of the hospital. But what struck me about him and his family is how optimistic they were, how much they were people of faith, and they had such a strong supportive community that sort of rallied behind Luke.
We would just like to see for him to complete this oral chemo and hopefully maybe start school next year and to get on with life, and and I hope that he can use this to help other people, and that's how I've looked at it is I want to be able to use our experience to help other people, other families going through stuff like this.
Luke's a special boy, he's got a special family, and they obviously were dealt a very difficult hand. But what was unique about their family and their support was that they really had faith that, they were in the right place and the right hands, and it made everyone's job easier because we sort of felt like they understood, and they were so grateful for, anything that we could do to help Luke, that it made it easy to work with him. And it was a really high point for our team to go in there and see Luke at the different stages of recovery. And Luke is a sword fighter. That's his thing. And so I was able to participate, and I will say that Luke definitely defeated his surgeon with his sword fighting skill, but it was a fun part of getting to see him when he could get back to sword fighting. That's when I knew it was going to be better.